Roger. I am coming to you from Brickhouse Guitars in Kitchener, Ontario, and I am sitting here with a very lovely guitar. It is another Michel Pellerin, and of course, if you follow Brickhouse Guitars, you know we've been carrying Michel's guitars for a while now, and yes, we have a very, very special place in our heart for every one of Michel's guitars, and for good reason. This one is kind of unique. It is part of the Stonebridge Guitars International Collection, the SGI collection. And what is SGI? Well, for those of you who may know me and know a bit about my history, I used to have a brand that we called Stonebridge Guitars, and they were built by Furt Guitars in the Czech Republic. And for many years, I was the distributor, and we brought in those guitars as Stonebridge Guitars. That has since moved on. We won't get into all of that now. And we've discontinued the Stonebridge name on instruments. But at that point of change, we decided we wanted to create a boutique collection of guitars at all price ranges that would in particular cater to the fingerstyle, modern fingerstyle players especially. And so we have our Bridgeport line, we have our Avenir line, but we also wanted a boutique level for the most advanced players. And so we turned to our good friend Michel. And Michel, well, he thought it was a brilliant idea. While he only builds custom guitars, he agreed wholeheartedly to make a series of 5 guitars at a time. And this is our second run of those. So this is one of 5 guitars that were built as you know, simultaneously, and the goal with that is to have sort of like a mini production, and by doing that, having all the attributes the same, which we'll get into in a minute, he was able to economize quite a bit the amount of time spent where you don't have to invent every instrument. So cost savings for him were great, great for us too, because they translate right directly to us. So it's just a really amazing way to bring a boutique level handmade Michel Pellerin guitar, mind you, very small number, but it's just a great opportunity to have the same level of instrument sonically and build quality as if you were to order a custom Pellerin. So these are like in the fashion industry, you know, you'd call prêt-à-porter, ready to wear. So let's just sort of dive into the features. We can get in closer here and we'll go over the instrument. It is a small jumbo. So small means it's not so small actually. It is a fairly large guitar, fairly deep. It features an incredible cedar top with unbelievable tight, straight grain. And while we're zooming in on the top, we'll point out that all of the attributes, appointments on the guitar are with walnut. So the rosette here is 2 rings of walnut. There is some shell inlaid here, individual shell, and there's purflings as well with some red dye. So the bindings as well are red dye with walnut purfling. And then we have a look at the bridge. That is ebony, of course, Gaboon ebony, very, very dense, and then a nice double-sized wide bone, polished bone for the saddle, and excellent string spacing here, ebony bridge pins. And the weight of the bridge is calculated very, very precisely. That's one of the most important things for Michel in how he voices the instruments. And they can actually vary from guitar to guitar. So it's quite a science. All right, let's have a look here. Well, first of all, as we're turning it, you can see we have the sound port. And the sound port, of course, is a beautiful feature for the player because you know you can just basically hear directly without having to lean over. So that's very, very awesome. And this bevel here for the arm is awesome. It starts here, and as I go around, you can see it comes and begins right at the center point of the guitar. So it's just very, very gradual, and it's unbelievably clean. Like you can't even see where that is joined, and that's part of the brilliance of Michel as a builder. He does these magic tricks that you just can't figure out on some of his custom guitars. You're just shaking your head, you're going, how could you ever do that? All right, well, let's turn it around. And this is a beautiful set of Indian rosewood. And if you look up close at a Michel guitar, you know, he has the finest guitar finishes you could find on any guitar anywhere. And in fact, he regularly teaches workshops to many, you know, to luthiers, and trains them how to achieve this level of perfection in guitar finishing. So there you go. The neck is mahogany, and it is stained, but it's actually not stained. It's darkened with some sort of chemical process. He explained it to me, and I kind of forget how it works, but it's really beautiful, and a nice satin finish. And then here, the onlay on the back of the headstock is actually maple, and it's darkened in that same way. Goto 510 tuners, of course, those are excellent. And let's flip it over. And this is Michel's, of course, new headstock design and his new logo, which I think is so elegant. I love it. And there's an ebony onlay, of course, here of Gaboon for the headstock. And again, bone for the nut. Now, this, as you can see, is a fan fret guitar. And the fan frets, for those of you who are new to it, you know, I get asked all the time, what's that for? What does it do? Well, it creates more of a piano-like characteristic to the guitar. Longer bass strings, shorter highs, so you get more mass and more depth of bass for sure in the bass side of the instrument. And if you're playing fingerstyle and you're going down to D or C, having that longer scale really does enhance the piano-like quality of the guitar. Having highs that are shorter allows for the notes to be tighter and sing more. And once I start strumming this, you'll understand that, wow, that really is amazing. It does do that. The intonation also, it's said that can be a little more precise because of the tension, even tension of the strings. Don't quote me on that as being, absolute truth, but the intonation on this instrument absolutely is bang on perfection. Ebony, Gaboon ebony for the fingerboard. So all in all, like what you're getting here is all of the quality and that you would find in a boutique guitar, but made in a series of 5. And what you can see also is the inside. The inside is finished throughout with shellac, sealed, and the sides are double walled with solid lining. And so that creates a very, very stiff rim, and a lot of the boutique guitar builders are using that technique now of creating really rigid double, triple walled sides. And the idea is you don't want the sides to vibrate or move. You just want the back plate and the top plates to work together in tandem. And so I think that is enough said about the guitar. It's a brilliant instrument. I think it's about time that we move on and see how it sounds. Well, now for the fun part. Of course, let's hear how it sounds. And I have to say, this guitar feels a lot like home for me. I actually own a guitar from Michel, almost exactly the same as this one. The only difference being is the neck joint. Mine is actually joined at the 12th fret instead of the 14 as this one. I'm comfortable with both. I like to have that 12th fret getting in a little closer. That's just me. Full 14th fret gives you that full orchestral range and feel. And, this really is like a whole orchestra, this guitar. Being a small jumbo built by Michel, it's just large, full, huge bottom end, shimmering highs, beautiful sympathetic resonances. I have it tuned in Dadgad right now. You're going to get a sense right away of the beautiful lushness just such a full, rich sonic landscape. Maybe I just touch it. All the power you want, all the range you want. Wow. I mean, if you're into contemporary fingerstyle, this is just quite affordable when you look at the scheme of things to get just a world-class, and I know that's a cliche, but truly world-class instrument. If you have any interest, of course, please get in touch. I am going to tune it up now to the standard tuning and do my standard demo. And again, I thank you so much for watching. And now I'm going to start saying it once in a while. Please subscribe to our channel if you wish. Every subscriber helps us immensely. Thank you. Very, very nice. Yes, very, very nice. All right, thank you again for watching. Cheers.